Hey, good morning, traders. This is Chris here in Hawaii. It is April the 14th, midweek or Tuesday, 5 in the morning here in Hawaii, but that's the London close time. So anyway, gonna kind of share with you what we have going on today. Fundamental sentiment wise, and there are a couple trades that I'm eyeing for today. So let's get started here. So first thing, just kind of a rundown of what's going on. Currency-wise, the dollar's mixed. So there is some improved sentiment on possible exits for the lockdowns for countries. So notably in Europe. And I think some of the states here in the U.S. are talking a coordinated step-by-step removal of the lockdown. Commodity FX is underperforming. CAD notably, soft crude prices because OPEC deal was kind of so-so. Euro is kind of following the market mood. It's still a little bit range bound, so not super strong. The pound still strong here with Prime Minister Johnson's recovery. The yen is being bid here late in the session with some broad U.S. weakness, but also the commodity currencies too, with the exception of the Aussie, which is holding strong, and I think that's on the back of the Chinese data from yesterday, in which their economy did not perform quite as bad, or at least they reported. It did not report. It didn't go quite as bad as everyone had predicted. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Dollar slipping a little bit. Obviously, the trade's kind of quiet. They're waiting for J.P. Morgan announcement today on their earnings. Boeing had some real setbacks on their Boeing 737 MAX. I believe it was 150 cancellations of their MAX planes. So that definitely did not help one of the biggest companies here in the U.S. There. So that's definitely something to watch. Once again, with China, less weakness in export and import data for March. So that suggests that the economy is improving faster than expected. The Dow is positive right now. The dollar's definitely steady pressure, with the Fed basically promising unlimited quantitative easing to keep the dollar in line. The dollar can soften more here. So as more good news comes in here with coronavirus, even though the economies are going to be just crap, but that's the entire world. So I think right now what investors are looking for is any type of positive point to get behind here. So I don't see a lot of weakness coming down the pike. I think we've kind of already seen it with the beginning of the coronavirus and that fear factor. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. I'm very interested in this trade right here. This is a Euro Swiss franc, and the Swiss franc was the strongest currency for today, and this thing only dropped 13 pips. So if you kind of think about that in retrospect, I think this thing ain't going to go too far down. But what I'd like to see is somewhat of a move up before I get in here. But it seems like that it's consolidating. So we might be able to get in here. So looking at the volume, which is something I always like to look at, just where are people buying and selling? That's what I want to know. We can see the traded levels here at 105.60, and that goes back about a day. Let's zoom out of this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're down at this low. There's a pretty hefty level at 105.39, I think. So I want to see this hold. All right, so you see there's some volume right here, and it dropped down a little bit, but it's not a very powerful drop. So what I'd like to see is maybe a move back up here into the 42 level. We would target maybe the 60, so that we're looking at like a 16 pip target with maybe a 10 pip stop. So really, really tight scenario here, but I'd be interested in this. And you can already see it's kind of holding at that 105.37. Let's maybe wait later in the session here. If it gets to maybe 6 a.m. here, so that's, I believe, 5 p.m. London time, I'd be interested in maybe getting in then. So we'll keep an eye on this one as the session goes along, and I'll let you guys know if that's something I'm interested in here. The other one that I'm interested in is a Euro CAD, but I needed to go up further before we get in here. Oh, actually, you know what? Here we are. That's the level that I'm looking at. So it's almost at the mid level, so 52.50. What I'd like to see is a further rejection of this, and maybe a down bar. If we get that, and as long as it's lower than this right here, this is a perfect level to get in, and I would target down here at 150, 182, and you could put the stop just above the high. So we're looking at the 30-minute chart here. Let's keep an eye on this one. If it rejects it again, and like I said, I want to see a red bar develop here. This one seems actually probably a little bit more promising than the Euro Swiss franc. But so, you know, the Canadian dollar, obviously so-so OPEC deal, but there was an OPEC deal nonetheless. And it seems like the $20 level is what's buoying oil prices right now. And as countries get back in the mix, you're going to see oil prices rise again. You know, the powers that be aren't going to let oil prices dip too far. So I think the Canadian dollar has further strength in it. Obviously, it's at pretty substantial lows right now, and I don't think the euro is particularly strong. So that could be, in relation to the CAD, that could be a nice little trade for us here too. So we'll keep an eye on these two levels right here for both the CAD and the Euro Swiss franc, and I don't know, it could be a profitable day for us here. So other than that, guys, I mean, really just, you know, the encouraging thing is just hearing about the potential removals of the lockdowns. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going crazy here. Although I was at the beach on the weekend, but you know, not being able to go out, not being able to do basic things is, you know, getting stuck in your house. You know, you kind of take for granted some of the things that you get to do all the time. So I know the other mentor here, Nick, who lives in Austria, he is starting to see some removal of the lockdown there, but I know they're keeping a close eye on it. So that could be very good for him, and hopefully Europe starts to follow suit. The fear factor is just so many deaths in the hospitals right now, but I don't think they're seeing as many people as they thought they would see. So the social distancing and staying at home, you know, in the lockdown, I think is definitely helping. But there's kind of a give and take to this one. You know, I'm okay with a lockdown and protecting people, especially, you know, our elderly, which we definitely want to protect. You know, my father, he lives on Kauai, but he, you know, he's been at home the whole time, and I haven't been able to see him. So, you know, but definitely trying to protect them for sure. So, you know, I'm in agreement with that, but I don't like the whole monitoring of, you know, who has it, where they're going. You know, I think there's some privacy rules that need to be followed here, and you know, I think as long as people are kind of doing the right thing, and you know, for the community, we don't need that stuff. And you know, there still should be the privacy, but that's my take. And you know, I'm from the U.S., so I have strong opinions about that, but I don't know. They're not too bad here on Oahu, here in Hawaii. Some of the outer islands are a little bit more cracked down. I do know I think they arrested 2 people. Um, I think it was a few days ago. So 2 tourists got off the plane, and they have a rule here: if you fly into Hawaii, you have to quarantine automatically for 2 weeks. And they decided they would go to the grocery store first. So the police followed them, and then when they came out, the police arrested them on the spot. So they're facing up to a $5,000 fine and a possibility of 1 year in prison, up to 1 year in jail. So they're not playing around here in Hawaii. I know some other countries are pretty hard like that too. So it's interesting, how this is impacting freedoms and something as simple as going to the grocery store, things that we're just so used to, right? So I don't know. It's weird times, indeed. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, I'm gonna just hold these charts here. Like I said, I want to see rejection on the 30-minute for this, for the CAD, and let's put both of these on here so that way we can watch them both. All right, and we'll kind of go from here. All right, guys. Thanks again, and like I said, I'll be on the live stream. So if you need anything, just let me know, and hopefully we get some trades today. Hey guys, it's Chris here. Just wanted to update you right here before the official end of the London close here. So the Euro Swiss franc trade that we have on, or that we don't have yet, I'm liking this bar. This is a good indecision bar. So what I'll probably do is click in here at the close, as long as it closed positive green here and the tail still stays long. So we're going to target the buying and selling area here. So let's assume that it goes down to maybe here. So we're going to target that area and a real tight stop, maybe 1 pip. So that will give us a very, very nice reward to risk ratio, as you can see. And same thing here on the EuroCAD. It's definitely holding at that 50 level. So we'll probably go here as well on a short position. We're going to go just above the 80 level with spread, so maybe 85, because there's a nice level of resistance at 75 as well. And we're going to target down in here. So not quite as good of a reward to risk ratio, but still decent. So let's, as long as this thing holds both of these, we'll take these trades. So wanted to update you, and hopefully we're all good. All right. So I'll be on for another few minutes if you have any questions. All right. Thanks.